Hello, everyone, and welcome to Daily God Gems with Lisa Renee. The war against the evil regime in Iran has a significant connection to the book of Esther. Within the historical account of Queen Esther, we meet Haman. He was the chief minister in Persia who despised the Jewish people because they would not bow down to him. In his arrogant bitterness, he devised a plan to destroy them all. How does this tie into the current war to dismantle the evil Islamic Republic based in Iran? First of all, Iran is modern-day Persia, which is where the book of Esther takes place. Secondly, the Islamic Republic's regime's whole purpose is to spread its oppressive ideology and to eliminate Jews, Christians, Muslims, and anyone else who does not adhere or bow down to their shia law and their belief system. This mirrors the circumstances in the book of Esther, where Mordecai refused to bow down to Haman, and thus Haman became determined to destroy all of the Jews, as we read in Esther chapter 3, verse 5. Thirdly, Khomeini, the leader of the Islamic regime, and the majority of his leaders were killed in a morning meeting in which they surely were devising plans to further their mission to destroy anything and anyone tied to America and Israel. Instead, their plans were turned on them, and their endeavors were halted when they were eliminated in the midst of their scheming. In Esther chapter 5, verses 9 through 14, we read that Haman had a pole set up to impale Mordecai upon. However, after the king discovered Haman's wicked plot to destroy the people of his dear Queen Esther, he had Haman impaled on that pole. The tables were turned, just as they were turned on Khomeini and his leaders. Following Haman's demise, the king of Persia gave Esther and Mordecai the permission to issue an edict that on the day that Haman had set for elimination of the Jewish people, the Jews were granted the right to defend themselves against anyone who attacks them. We read in Esther chapter 9, verse 1, "On the 13th day of the 12th month, the month of Adar, the edict commanded by the king was to be carried out. On this day, the enemies of the Jews had hoped to overpower them, but now the tables were turned, and the Jews got the upper hand over those who hated them." Haman's plans were once again thwarted, just as the plans of the Islamic regime were thwarted to build nuclear weapons, manufacture more ballistic missiles, and carry out various assaults against the Jewish people and others. Lastly, the timing of the war to destroy the Islamic Republic and put an end to their plans coincides with the Jewish holiday called Purim, which occurs this coming Monday evening through Tuesday evening, just days after the commencement of the war against the evil regime. Purim is a celebration of the Jews' victory over their enemy. We read in Esther chapter 9 that Mordecai instituted the 14th day of the Hebrew month Adar as a day of joy and feasting, a day of giving presents of food to each other and gifts to the poor. America's first statement at the beginning of the war was that the attacks against the regime could last 2 to 3 days. This brings us to the exact day of Purim. However, the Jews and the Iranians are already celebrating in the streets around the world. The Purim holiday wasn't exclusively instituted for the Jews to celebrate alone. Esther chapter 9, verse 27 tells us that the Jews took it on themselves to establish this day, and that they and their descendants and all who join them should continue to observe this day annually throughout all generations to come. As we see, there is a deep connection between the war against the evil Islamic Republic and the book of Esther. Today's Haman is dead. The evil plans have been overturned, and people have been freed from oppression and constant threats of destruction. There is also much significance in the timing with the holiday of Purim. Just as God's invisible hand guided and intervened in the lives of Esther and the Jewish people, his hand is once again guiding the victory over evil. So let us join in the Purim celebration of overcoming evil in the land of Persia and throughout the world. And let us keep everyone in our prayers as this war continues. Everyone have a wonderful day, and may God's love and peace be with you.